I think the first part was very jargon-oriented because economics doesn't have times. If you have to say GDP, it has to be GDP.
Sure.
I'll be brief, but let me give you why we do it. Because it's deliberate. For Kenya to grow, and as I keep talking about it in this show, education has to be at the center of it. Because to increase productivity per person, this, Jeff. Kenya has 50 million people. South Korea has 50 million people. South Korea has wealth per person, GDP per capita of around 36,000. Kenya,
3,000.
3,000.
They are 12 times.
Yes, that tells you one thing. For any economy to grow, deal with a person as the unit of the economy. Because what we end up calling the economy up here is the amalgamation of me as an economic agent, then the household as the economic agent, the farm, you sum that, it becomes the economy. So productivity per person is very important. Now, what education does is to add value to human capital. I hope you get that. Mm-hmm. You add value through education. Yeah. Healthcare deals with servicing. Yeah. So the reason why in Kiharu, everything rotates around education, it is because it is education that builds roads. It is investing in education that builds all the other things. And I'm not saying we don't do those things, but I'm just saying why most of the things around CDF in Kiharu rotate around there. Now, Kiharu has 112 public primary schools. It is the largest, it's the top 2 largest rural constituency from our region. So it's a very large constituency. Because our 2 neighbors combined, Madhya and Kagema, you know those places. Kiharu is still larger. But I'm saying that in good faith, just for comparison purpose. So out of all, and I'm coming now to answer your question, but I have to paint a picture so that we see what is doable in Kenya. Of all the 112 public primary schools, all of them are well done. We built classrooms where we needed to build, renovated the old structures, and all pupils in Kiharu, they step on tiles. I know for you, Jeff, tiles is not a big deal. We have 65-day secondary schools. We have done a lot in them, build laboratories, etc., etc., etc.
Where's the money coming from?
Now, I'm coming there. We now run Kiharu Masomo Bora, which we launched yesterday, where learners, not few, we have 12,000 day scholars in Kiharu across the 65-day secondary schools. The only school fees they pay is 500 shillings. And they eat in school from Monday to Saturday.
Every one of them.
And last Friday of the month, they eat chapati.
No.
And then we buy revision books for them. Like now we have done 10 million. In the previous years, we have done 20 cumulative. We have put in a kitty of 50 million for laboratories and other critical infrastructure to deepen knowledge. Because there is expansion of infrastructure, but there is also deepening of knowledge. Deepening of knowledge, you'll need laboratories, libraries, and such. How do we do it and where do we get the money? Jeff, there is no enough money anywhere, but there is also no small money. It depends with what you do with it. When I was elected in my first term, we decided that if we continue doing the norm, we'll do nothing in terms of what is visible, given the expansiveness of Kiharu. So, what did we do? We took all the data of Kiharu infrastructure that is needed, and we decided we are going to be data-driven. Number 2, we standardized. What do I mean? And I'm just talking fast to break down. If you go to any classroom in Kiharu, it is almost identical. The door, the window, whatever we do is more or less.
Cut and paste, cut and paste.
Yes, standardization is very important. Then, the breaker is the method we use called labor-based. It's very intensive in terms of time, very, very intensive. But we do labor-based. What is this and what is the difference? You take to school A, 1 million shillings in Kiharu. You take to school AX in another constituency, 1 million. Let's use 1 million. So this 1 million you take in another place, you give a contractor, 2 things happen. After you launch as the MP, and you leave the gate after shairis have been said for you by the student. Number 2, you give a contractor. By the time you leave the gate, remember a contractor is not an NGO. So more, give or take in Kenya, contractors get that % of the total. So that's 300,000.
1/3, yeah.
By the time you are leaving the gate, you have walked away with 460,000.
Yeah, almost 500,000.
Yes. So actually took to the school 540,000. So in Kiharu, what did we do? We trained our own people in my first term, 150 people on how to do tiling because we knew it would be a critical element of our work where we had deficiencies in skill. We also did professional painting of 150, normal people who do the works, and we taught them professional painting. Those are the two gaps we had realized. There was deficiency in terms of skill. So we are able to do double work for the same money. Now, that is the hard part of education, because we categorize education in two ways in Kiharu. There is the hard part, and there is the soft part. The hard part is infrastructure. We built even new schools, like 7 new secondary schools, but I don't want to keep on tabulating. I want to go to the main issue. So there is the hard part of education, which you have to do. There is no two way about it, Jeff, because it is needed, and you can't talk about now the soft part, which I will talk about, before you have the right infrastructure.
Right.
So our focus now is turning to the soft side, because we have done so much in the hard part. The soft part is what? After you build this infrastructure, can learners be maintained in school? That's the soft part. Having the learners now in school. That is why we started Kiharu Masomo Bora, 12,000 learners, 65-day secondary schools, covering everyone who goes to school there, including non-Kiharu residents. You get that?
Yeah.
And the primary basis of that program is Kiharu NGCDF. And I would have told you other things, like beyond that program, building infrastructure, there is motivation of even taking principles to Dubai, and so many other spices.
Development that is meant for the public, it doesn't matter where money comes from, so long as that money goes to the public, because it belongs to the public. We are given money, NGCDF, a percentage given for bursaries and other departments, and I would support my brother Ndindi Nyoro by stating clearly that even you don't have even to explain where money is coming from, Ndindi, so long as that money is going to the people. Because who is benefiting is not you. It's the students who are benefiting from your program. With Ndindi, there are people who fear reasoning. These are people who are ordinary leaders. We need extraordinary leaders, not just ordinary leaders. Jeff, when it comes to bursaries, the reason why I focus on education so much is because I'm a product of education. Were it not for education, Jeff, I would have never come to Nairobi. I came to Nairobi in the year 2007. For education, were it not for education, I would have never been a student leader. Were it not for education, I would have never been a member of parliament. Jeff, the same opportunity that I was given while I was in primary school, while I was in secondary school, while I was at the university, is the same opportunity that I wake up every single day in the morning to give to a child, to put a smile on the face of that child. Because I know, Jeff, that if a parent tells me that their children have no school fees, at some point in life I lacked fees. I know what it is to lack fees. If a parent or a person tells me that they are sleeping without food, they are going